Welcome. I am so happy to have you here. This is the planning lecture. I am so excited that you're here, that you made it through our course and you are here. Guess what? Now we're planning. So this is one of the things I love about planning. Plan your way to success. You know, you gotta have a plan. So without further ado, let me put out our planning lecture here so that you have it here. So let's talk about planning. Planning is one of the most important part of goal achievement. If you want to achieve anything good, anything big, you must have a plan. You got to have a plan. Planning is very important. So let's talk about planning now. Plan your way to success. That is how I call it. You gotta plan your way to success. So in this 21 day, we're going to we have this blueprint called 21 days in 21 steps, 7 steps per week for 3 weeks. So basically, let me walk you through a little bit about what we're trying to do in terms of planning. Every single day, you get to execute something that gets you to your goal. That's why we talked about target, so we know the task. So each day you'll be achieving a step, and every single day you get closer to your goal. So that's how the plan is designed. The planning system is designed to get you to your goal by achieving one thing at a time each day, so you don't get lost. So you know exactly where you need to do and where you need to go each day, so that if you are late, you know exactly what you need to do to catch up. So that's the beauty of it. And if you're ahead, you know exactly what to do to keep going ahead, because some of you are overachiever in this 21 days goal challenge. You might be going ahead and achieving even more in less time. So that is the beauty of the plan. The plan really gives you an ability to go beyond what is required by knowing exactly what to do. So that's why I love teaching this, because planning gives you a lot of good things. So let's talk a little bit about the system. I'm gonna tell you a little bit more about it before we go in details, and I show you how to plan and how to use it in your calendar. Let's talk about it. For those of you who have a plan, for example, to start a company, you have already put it into task each step. For those of you who want to write a specific book, you already have the book, you already have the specificity, you also know exactly what kind of task you need to do. And now we're going to put it into steps. For those of you who are trying to lose weight, you want to lose X amount of weight, you already know the amount of weight you want to lose, and you already know exactly what task you need to do in order to make that happen. Now we're going to put it into steps. And same things for those of you who want to, market a product or have 100,000 sell in the next 21 days. So you already have the steps. For those of you who are trying to get a new job, you already know what steps you need to take. And now we're going to put it into a plan. So we're taking the goal, we're taking the SMART goal and the target, and we are applying it into our calendar. So that's the beauty of it. So any goal that you have, now we're going to put it into a plan. So that's exactly what we're about to do. So are you ready to take your goal and your target and put it into a plan? Are you ready? If you are, I am. So let's go. Here we are. So as I said, 21 days in 21 steps. So each day do 1 steps, and 7 steps per week in 3 weeks. So each week you're just going to make 7 steps towards your goal. For those of you who are overachiever, you can do 3 to 2 steps or 5, or depend on you. But the system, the plan is designed to get you through a 21-day journey. So do it one at a time. That way you get the beauty of building the habits as well and staying with the habit as you move throughout this year. So let's go. So our next slide will show you exactly how you're going to do that. So here is how you're going to do exactly that. So 7 steps. The first week, you're going to have 7 steps in 7 days for 3 weeks. So that's what we're going to have. 7 steps in 7 days. That's our first week. So the program is a 3 weeks program. So basically, now we're talking about what is your target. I told you all, what is your target? So that's a very important thing to know. So now we are thinking about our targets. We already know our targets. We already wrote about them in the past lecture. So we know our task, our authority, our reward, our grouping, how we're going to evaluate that, and our time. So here is how we put it onto our first week plan. Our first week plan, there is how we're going to put it into it. So first of all, we're going to be thinking about each day. How are we going to make it happen in each day? So the first things we got to think about is, what is our to-do list? To-do list. We need to think about a to-do list, because what we're going to do is each day we're going to be achieving something. And here in these things that you're seeing right now on your screen, think about who you're going to be first of all. This is one of the things that I included into this, because I believe that in order to be in a place that you've never been before, in order to get to a place you've never gotten before, you need to be someone you've never been. So that's why I've included the be advice that will enable you each day to be something amazing. For example, on our first week, I want you to be responsible. And on our first week, I want you to be committed. I want you to be involved. I want you to be creative. I want you to be honest with yourself. And I want you to be focused. That is the first things you gotta be. So for those of you who are wondering how you can do that, first day, just be responsible on the first day. Second day of your week, be committed. Third day, be involved. Fourth day, be creative. Fifth, be honest. Seventh, be focused. And for those of you who are multitasker there, you can be all 7 of them each day. So to do something that you have never done before, you must become someone you have never been before. So there you go. Here's the plan. Here's our plan. This is how we plan our task, as you all can see in our screen there. So here is the planning. For those of you who have the book, you can already complete it. For those of you who don't, make sure to write it down. So here are the steps. Step-by-step task planner. Write down the steps. Your first week, write down the steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6. So let me explain you how this step 6 is going to work. The steps are going to work this way. Basically, on your target, you already know the task that you need to achieve. So basically what we're going to do is we're taking those tasks and making them into 21 steps. That is the thing. You don't need to create something new here. You just need to take the targets that you filled up and put it into steps. Look at it and put it into 21 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. So we're putting it into our calendar. First of all, we're putting it into steps. We're refining all these tasks that we need to do into 21 steps. Take those tasks, turn them into 21 steps. And then that is what we're going to be doing on our first week. But let me just go over it on the entire program. So this way you know exactly how this program, this 21-day is structured. So you know exactly how it works. So let's go on the second week. So we're going to see how it works here in terms of planning. On the second week, it's going to be the same thing. So basically, we're going to be courageous, relentless, positive, active, resilient, and driven. So basically, you take the steps you keep putting into it. You put on the 8 steps, 9 steps, 10 steps, 11, 12, 13, 14. So keep on filling it up, and on the last steps, the last week we are going to fill up steps 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So go ahead, fill up all those steps into 21 steps. Take your task, put it into 21 steps. So, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about strategic mapping, because this is one of the things that you got to know. I got to give you a strategy, right? I give you the plan, how you're going to do it. You take your task, you put it into 21 steps. We know exactly each day how much tasks you need to do to achieve it. Each steps brings you there. So if you have a lot of tasks that can fit in 21 steps, make sure that you write at least two tasks each day. So figure out a way that will make it into 21 days, because that's the goal. We want to do it in 21 days. Whereas writing a book, if you're trying to write a 100-page book in 21 days, make sure to factor it in. Okay, I'm gonna write, a 100-page book divided by 5. You have 20. You divide it by 20. 100 divided by 20, you have a number. So figure out what is that number for you. What is that number for you? Some of you might be 5, right? You're like, okay, I'm trying to write a 100-page book. I'm going to write 5 pages a day. That is your task. Each day, you write 5 pages. At the end of this course, you're going to have a 100-page book. There you have it. For those of you who are trying to make money, you're trying to make $100,000 in the next 21 days, figure it out. Okay, $100,000 divided by 20, how much? $5,000 a day. Try to make $500 a day in your business. For those of you who are trying to market, trying to reach 100,000 customers, figure out, okay, how much do I need? Okay, I have 21 days. Okay, each day I'm trying to reach, 5,000 customers. You market, target 5,000 people each day. So figure out what are the number for you and apply it into those steps, so you know exactly each day what is your daily goal. So I love that the task brings you there, but it's going to become like a daily goal that you need to achieve. So let's keep on going, and let's talk about our strategic mapping. Strategic mapping. For those of you who are in there, you're seeing the screen there. You might be wondering, okay, what is strategic mapping? Strategic mapping is a very powerful strategic system, because once you have a plan, you need to have a strategy, right? As I told you, if you just have a plan, you don't have a strategy, it's not good. You gotta have a strategy to get to your plan. So let's talk a little bit about it. I'm gonna put it back in the screen there. A strategic mapping calendar is basically taking your plan and putting it into a calendar that will enable you to be able to be successful in this 21 day, so that you know exactly what you need to do each day. So the question that the quote that I would like us to reflect on is here. It's a quote by Zig Ziglar. He said this: "You were born to win, but to be a winner, you must plan to win, prepare to win, and expect to win." So my question for you today is, are you prepared to win? Are you expecting to win in this 21 days goal challenge? Are you planning to win? So are you ready? So because this is how we get started. So let's go. Let's talk about our strategic mapping. So hopefully that made you reflect a bit there. So I'm going to put it back on our screen here. We have it. So strategic mapping, what do I mean by strategic mapping? It's basically we are taking all our plan. Now we have a plan. So now we have a plan, right? We talked about the goal. We had the goal. We had the target. we had the plan. I just explained you what the plan is. Take all those tasks, put it into steps. 21 steps. So now we're talking about our strategy. How we're gonna strategically use this plan into our map, right? So here our first strategy, we're gonna put it into a map. Take your plan, put it into a map. So this is our mapping, our strategic mapping calendar. So basically we're going to take our plan and just put it into a map. Take your plan, put it into a map. Our map in this case is a calendar. That's why I'm calling it a strategic mapping calendar. As for you who are looking at the screen right now, it's called strategic mapping calendar because we're taking our plan, we're applying it into a calendar. So here's how you do it. Think of each steps as each day, and think of each week as 7 steps. So here, your first 7 steps, you put it into this calendar. Each day. Second week, same things. So the total here is going to be 21 days. So that's your assignment for today. Make sure you take your goal and put it into the calendar. Take your plan, put it into a calendar, and I'll see you in the next section where we're going to be talking a lot about strategy, because now we already did the GPS, now we're getting into the S. So we did the goal, we did the plan, so now we're getting into the S, the strategy. We talk a little bit about strategy on how to take a plan into a calendar, but now we're going to explore a strategic way on how you can take your goal and strategize and really get that plan, and so that you can win by the end of this 21-day goal challenge. So if you have a question for me, make sure to email it to me at support@rankadvertiser, or post it on the group, because this part is very important, because now what's going to happen is we're going to pass from planning and talking to go, do. So that will be the segment that we're going to get, and I'm going to be more of supporting, more coaching in that sense. And if you already reached this part and you don't have a goal, you don't have a plan yet, you don't have you didn't do those elements, or let's say you're struggling with it, or you don't know if you set up the right plan, you can always request a meeting with me by sending it on the email. And for those of you who might need, for instance, a service in which you need me to really review it in one-on-one, I actually have something for you here. I'm gonna put it on the screen there. For those of you who needs that at this point, you can go to to my website here. If you go to rankadvertiser.com. Yeah, because I know that sometimes other people might need this, so I'm just gonna put it up there. You can always request a private session with me. If you are that person, you already reached this level of the class, but you still need support in one-on-one, and you need it to be via Zoom, so you have an opportunity here to request an hour with me here. You can just come at rankadvertiser/private session. That's how you get a private session with me, one-on-one, for an hour or 30 minutes, whichever works for you. And for those of you who only need a 15 or 5 minutes, you can just write at support@rankadvertiser.com. That one, I'll give it for you. So based on first come, first serve. So make sure that you have that ready for yourself, and we're going to be talking about strategy in the next one. So for those of you who are here already, make sure to really take your plan, apply it to your map. So let me show you a little bit about how you get to do that. For those of you who are wondering, how do I do this thing in a calendar? Very simple, actually. Let me do that for you. I'll show you how to do it. Let me show you my screen there. There you go. Just a moment. Let me put that one up. Perfect. So in this time, what I want you to do, first of all, use a paper, because that will be much more easier. Use a paper and do it. There will be a PDF on the resources or down here where you're gonna download it. Just download this. Exactly what you see on my screen is what you're gonna be downloading. This one. So make sure to fill it up into a calendar, or if you have a physical calendar, apply it. And for those of you who are my online people who love doing it online, you love doing on your phone. So I'm going to show you how to do it for those of you who don't know how to do it. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to open Google Calendar here in my side. Just a moment. I'm going to open my Google Calendar there. Calendar, whether you use iCalendar or Google Calendar, use any calendar that works for you. So basically what we're going to do is, as you guys can see on the screen here, I have a calendar, as you guys can see. So basically you're going to come, let's say for example, if the day that you started this program was on the 5th, so basically you're going to come on the 5th and you're going to write down that step. For example, in here, step 1, let's say step 1 to start a business. Let's say you identify that step 1 is getting your business plan. Right? You come here, getting your business plan. Business plan ready. For those of you who are into production, you want to, let's say, produce a book, maybe yours could be writing your first chapter. Just write those steps down. Whichever your goal is, just write those steps down. And once you write your steps down, make sure that you save them on your calendar. And once you save them, for those of you who want, let's say for example, you want to be specific at the same time, you can also include the time at which you want to do it. And once you save it, it automatically gets into your calendar. So that's how you do it for Google. And for those of you who are using iCalendar, it's basically the same thing. Let me pull up my calendar here just a moment. I'm going to pull up my calendar. There you go. There you go. I'm gonna, as you guys can see, this is my calendar on iCalendar basically. So let's say, for example, as you're watching this, you started, for example, somewhere in here, right? You can always come and add things very simply. For example, if you don't want this look, you more of a you want to see different things, you can also do it up here. You can always turn it into a day, turn it into a week, turn it into a month, turn it into a year. So that way you have an idea. But as we are working on 21 days, I think a month kind of gives you an idea. So if you are starting it on the 3rd or on the 1st, you already know if you start on the 1st, you should complete the program by the 21st. So this way you have a clear idea about how things are laid out. So you just come on your calendar, whether it's a daily calendar, just set up your goals in there on your iCalendar. So that's basically how you set it up. So that way you have a visual, whether it's a paper, whether it's iCalendar, so you have a clear idea about how this works. So let's talk a little bit about other tools. For those of you who are using, for instance, let's say you are using your phone. Your phone, you can literally tell Siri, But the cool thing is with your phone, you get to set it up same method, whether you use Google Calendar or you're using iMessage. So same ways. Set it up on your calendar, whether it's a physical calendar, whether it's a digital calendar, just put it into a calendar. And then we're going to talk a bit about tasks as well in our next strategy. I'm going to show you physically how you're going to do that. And we'll explore more about calendar as well. For those of you who want to see more on that, just email me at support@rankadvertiser. And so that's a little bit about it. I'm going to end the lecture here. I'll see you in the next lecture.